Dark Knight. This movie had so much hype, and there was trailers and TV spots on all the time, and neither of us saw it at the cinema, but we did see it on DVD, and it was okay. What do you think about Christian Bale as Batman?
I think he was quite good. He brought a brooding intensity to the role,
Right?
and, which I think is a necessary part of Batman, which is something that hadn't really been there since Michael Keaton.
Right. Personally, I think Val Kilmer is the best, but that's just my opinion. I think that it was a wise decision to bring Joker in, because with Batman Begins we got Scarecrow, who he didn't see fight Batman, which was disappointing, and Ra's al Ghul. So, do you think it was wise to bring in the Joker?
I thought the Joker was one of the most important villains in all of the Batman series, so yes, it was good to have him there, and Heath Ledger made a very good different take on the role.
Personally, Mark Hamill is my favourite in the cartoons.
I think most people probably won't be aware that he did the voice for some of the cartoons.
Yeah.
And I would have thought again you'd be in a minority with him as your favourite.
Yeah. Heath Ledger though was fantastic. I was a little bit disturbed by the fact that to scar his face like that, it was a very strong scariness, and I'm surprised that it was a kids' movie.
Yeah, some of the violence in it was quite surprising.
So, yeah, it was surprising because Batman Begins wasn't that violent, because they cut out a lot of the violence in it with the shaking the camera.
In terms of fighting was quite violent because it was a realistic form of violence as opposed to stunt violence.
Yeah.
And big explosions and things.
Yeah. But this one had way more of that. We had people's faces getting burned off. I was surprised that they didn't have Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent best friends, because that's usually how it's been in, I think, the comic books and the cartoon series. They were big pals before this terrible thing happened. I didn't like Two-Face, I have to say. What do you think?
Well, I mean, again, I think he was reasonable in the role, but not memorable in the way that Heath Ledger was as the Joker.
Yeah. Well, my problem with Two-Face is that we didn't really get much of a feel for the character being sort of anti-Batman. I don't see why he was so angry at Batman, because Batman saved him. Which it just felt strange.
Fair point.
Because if it had been like Batman hadn't saved him or something like that, I could understand. But the fact is, it just got too realistically emotional about him losing his girlfriend.
Well, maybe realistic emotion is sometimes a good thing.
Maybe. In this case, I don't think it was, though, because this is a comic book movie. I didn't like the fact that they changed the actress who played Rachel. I thought this actress in The Dark Knight sucked as Rachel. I thought the one in Batman Begins was okay, but this one I didn't like.
Okay.
Did you get at all annoyed the fact that every time Christian Bale said something, Michael Caine would just come back with a full-on speech?
I think that was just something they decided to do, having got Michael Caine to play the part.
Right. There are a couple of really stupid things in this movie, though, where Batman's in a nightclub. I have to say that was one of the stupidest things in this movie.
Okay.
Would you agree? Batman in a nightclub with techno music in the background.
Well, I guess even Batman has to move with the times.
Yeah. What do you think about the new suit?
Well, I mean, again, I think it was good. You know, each time, I think it's worth trying to make it look different rather than just copy what's gone before.
Well, I liked it in the cartoon series because it wasn't bulletproof, so it put more pressure on Batman. It made him come off more heroic. And then this one had like fireproof, that was bulletproof.
I think it's just as well based on what happens in the movie. If it hadn't have been, I think he'd have been in trouble.
Yeah, that would have been funny. There is a small problem near the very, very beginning where the Joker just has its mask sort of dangling, and we assume that he's got his war paint on, and there's people just walking by. Now, another reviewer picked this up, and I think we should pick it up as well. That people just walk by and not notice a clown just standing there doing nothing.
I think that's probably symptomatic of modern society. People would avoid confrontation with anything out of the usual.
Yeah. That is a very good point. And we've got to talk about this. Batman's voice. That growly voice. Do you like it or not?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's one of those love it or hate it things, I think. Personally, I don't like it. I think a whisper is a lot more scary because he sounds like he's out of breath. It's like if he was chasing you and shouting at you. He just comes across like he needs water or something. Yeah. Any good highlights that you'd really like to pick up on?
Well, for shock value, the pen in the desk incident, and we'll say no more than that.
Right. Okay. Any highlights that I have had was when we saw the bank heist. I thought that was a decent scene. It was weird, but it was decent. And to be honest, that was really all the highlights, really. What would you rate it out of 5?
I think I'd give it a 3.5, edging towards a 4.
Right, I give it a 1.5 because I just think that you've got the 1989 Batman, which in a lot of people's opinion is the best Batman movie, and then you've got this one, and it just wasn't anywhere near the same level. Didn't you agree? Was the 89 one?
No, I think it was just a different time.
Okay. Anyway, tune in next time for more reviews, and signing out.
Thank you and good night.